Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat sore. Saya Marsofiyati, dosen dari program studi Pendidikan Administrasi Perkantoran Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis Universitas Negeri Jakarta. Saya merupakan dosen pembimbing 2A dari mahasiswa yang bernama Rian Farhad Effendi dengan judul seminar proposalnya adalah Pengaruh, Pendidikan Kewirausahaan, dan Praktik Kewirausahaan pada Bisnis Center Terhadap Minat Berwirausaha Siswa SMK Negeri 14 Jakarta. Berikut adalah pemaparannya. Selamat menyaksikan. Terima kasih. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shalom, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, and greetings of peace to all of us. Honorable mention, Prof. Ustadz PhD as the Dean of the Faculty of Economics at Universitas Negeri Jakarta. Honorable Mr. Rian Farhad S.Pd PM as the Coordinator of Bachelor of Office Administration Education Study Program. Honorable Dr. Christian Radiandiwala SAMM as the first supervisor lecturer. And Honorable Ms. Marsofiyati S.Pd MM as the second supervisor lecturer. First of all, let me introduce myself first. My name is Rian Farhad Effendi. I am from the Administration Education Study Program, class of 2019. In this occasion, allow me to present a thesis research proposal with the title The Influence of the Entrepreneurship Education and Entrepreneurial Practice in Business Centers on Entrepreneurial Interest of SMK and 14 Jakarta students. And in this presentation, we will focus on three main points or three tables of content. Chapter 1, Introduction. Chapter 2, Literature Review. Chapter 3, Research Method. Chapter 1, Research Background. As we know, Indonesia, with a population of around 2017 million as of January 31, 2020, grapple with the challenge of being a developing country despite ample human resources. A major contributor to this is the high unemployment rate, particularly among educated individuals, indicating a mismatch between qualification and job opportunities. As you can see in the diagram, in the last 3 years, the number of educated unemployed has decreased in all education categories when compared to previous years, but SMK or vocational school graduates remain the highest among other education levels. With this data, it can be concluded that the most pressing challenge in the employment problem in Indonesia is the employment problem dominated by vocational school or SMK graduates. And based on data tracking of graduates of SMK Negeri 14 Jakarta, it also shows that there are still many SMK graduates who are still unemployed, with 105 students in 2019-2020 academic year, 117 students in the 2020-2021 academic year, and 91 students in 2021 and 2022 academic year. And the other data shows that the number of students who are entrepreneurs after graduating for the last 3 years academic is very low. Even in 2021 and 2022 academic year, there are no STEM graduates who are entrepreneur at all. So therefore, I conduct research related to student entrepreneurial interest and factors that influence entrepreneurial interest based on the result of research from 30 student respondents show that 37% want to try a new thing through entrepreneurship to gain experience, open jobs, and have income from themselves. Besides, 43% want to go to college and then work first so that they have enough capital and knowledge so that they can become entrepreneurs. And last one, 20% want to focus on higher education or focus on their work when they graduate. And from the result of the research, it shows that the entrepreneur interest of SM Negeri Jakarta student is still relatively low. And there are several factors that influence entrepreneur interest of students of SM Negeri Jakarta, including entrepreneurship education, entrepreneurship practice in business center, self-efficacy, family environment, and social media. Of the take factors, the research shows that entrepreneurship education is the factor that most influence student entrepreneur interest by 22%, followed by uh, internship practice in business center with 21%. Therefore, I am as a researcher use the variable entrepreneurship education as X1 or first variable and entrepreneurship practice in the business center as variable 2 or X2. And from the data, researchers have a question. The first one, does entrepreneurship education have a positive effect on entrepreneurial interest of students of SMK Negeri Jakarta? Second, does the practice of entrepreneurship in the business center have a positive effect on the entrepreneurial interest of students of SMK Negeri Jakarta? And the third one is do entrepreneurship education and entrepreneurship practice in business center have a positive effect on entrepreneurial interest of students of SMK Negeri 14 Jakarta. So, the purpose about this research objective is first one is knowing the positive influence between entrepreneurship education on entrepreneurial interest of students of SMK Negeri 14 Jakarta, knowing the positive influence between entrepreneurship practice in business center on entrepreneurial interest of students of SMK Negeri 14 Jakarta, knowing the positive influence between entrepreneurship education and entrepreneurial practice in business center on entrepreneurial interest of students of SMK Negeri 14 Jakarta. Chapter 1, Sports and Theories. The first one is uh, W, entrepreneurial interest. Entrepreneurial interest is person's desire and motivation to work diligently to meet their needs through entrepreneurship or business that they run themselves without fear of the big risks they will face in the future and have the ability to organize and take advantage of existing opportunities. And the second one, entrepreneurial education, is education designed to prepare people from an uncertain future environment with focus on delivering knowledge, learning, and training that covers topics such as understanding the mechanics of starting and managing a business to assist individuals in recognizing, capitalizing on opportunities, overcoming challenges, and developing an entrepreneurial mindset. And last one, entrepreneurship practice in business center. Entrepreneurial practice in business center is entrepreneurial activities carried by schools, especially vocational schools, to provide opportunities for students with the aim of learning related to economic activities, improving entrepreneurial skills, and preparing them to make entrepreneurship a career option in the future by studying, buying, and selling activities, promotion, service, and entrepreneurial cooperation according to their expertise, creativity, and innovation. And next one is conceptual framework and hypothesis. First hypothesis is there is an influence between entrepreneurship education on entrepreneurial interest of students of SMK Negeri Jakarta. There is an influence between the practice entrepreneurship in the business center on the entrepreneurial interest of students of SMK Negeri Jakarta as a hypothesis 2. And the third hypothesis, there is influence in between entrepreneurship education and entrepreneurship practice in business center on entrepreneurial interest of student of Negeri 14 Jakarta. Chapter 3, Research Methodology. This research conduct a use a quantitative research with survey method or questionnaire with time and place September until December 2023 at the Negeri 14 Jakarta with population 144 students and sample 100 students with data analysis technique. The first one is instrument testing, second one is descriptive statistical analysis, the third one is analysis requirement test, the fourth one classical assumption test, the fifth one multiple linear regression analysis, sixth one hypothesis testing. That's all from me. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.